On tonight's North Fulton Prep Rally. Get your popcorn ready because the season's winding down and all the action is dialed up a notch. The Centennial and Roswell men went to war fighting for position in the regional standings, while the Lady Knights and the Lady Hornets would have to battle until the final play to determine a winner. We'll take a look at all the high-flying action from around the region and spotlight some outstanding individual performances from the past week. It's all coming at you on NFPR, and it starts right now.
Comcast presents your source for North Fulton High School sports. This is North Fulton Prep Rally.
Hello and welcome to another edition of North Fulton Prep Rally, your weekly high school sports program featuring the very best North Fulton High School action. I'm Chase Watson, joined by Nathan Shutter year-round on Comcast Channel 25. Catch us here weeknights at 6, 8, and 10. And Nathan, it was another big week on and off the court as we get to our keys to the weekend, with the Hornets heating up.
The Roswell boys have won 4 straight games, all in region. They have moved up to 3rd in the Region 6 standings. They are red hot right now.
And Smith is headed to Nashville.
Yeah, junior Kylie Smith is already committed to play at Vanderbilt. Of course, she still has another year at Alpharetta, but the 4-star guard put an end to her recruitment. She'll be heading to play for the Commodores.
And there are some seniors making some big college decisions.
Yeah, National Signing Day last week. 22 players in North Fulton signed to play college football next year. I expect several more will be signing over the next couple weeks. Milton led the way with 6 players signing scholarship papers.
A lot of professional athletes coming out of the state.
You never know.
Let's get to the highlights. And the Centennial Lady Knights pulled off a big upset against Milton last week. And we're looking to make it 2 straight region wins, playing host to Roswell. First quarter, Roswell pushing it up court. Andriona Keys misses the shot, but Valerie Shields is there for the board and stick back to give the Hornets a 4-point lead. Back comes Centennial. Lauren Spence with a nice pass to Paige Elliott in the post. She takes it strong to the rack and banks it in.
Then it's Kara Lawrence left all alone in the corner. She makes them pay with the 3. Centennial would lead 17-16 after 1.
Second quarter, Roswell on the break. Abby Jensen ahead to Andriona Keys. She pulls up and knocks down the jumper to put the Hornets up by 1. Knights back on offense here. Chelsea Reese over to Lauren Spence. She takes it all the way, banks it in for 2, but Centennial would trail 31-29 at the break.
Second half, Knights stepping up the pressure. Chelsea Reese knocks the ball free and she is off to the races. Reese takes it all the way for the bucket to put the Knights up 33-28.
Roswell looking to cut into the lead. Keys over to McKenna Bruckman. She hits nothing but nylon from the baseline, and we're knotted at 39 through 3 quarters of action. Centennial will take the early lead in the 4th. Asia Mitchell blowing by the defense all the way to the bucket to put the Knights up by 4.
Back comes Roswell. The first shot is off the mark, but Andriona Keys pulls down the rebound and banks it in to give the Hornets a 50-48 lead.
Under a minute to play, Knights down by 3. Becca Davis drives and dumps it down low to Paige Elliott for the basket. Lead cut to 1. Roswell would sink a pair of free throws to extend the lead to 3 with just 6 seconds to play. Knights pushing it up. Choate Street intercepts the pass. Asia Mitchell picks it up. Loose ball gets off the desperate Eve, but it falls short, and Roswell escapes with a 57-54 win over Centennial. How big was this win for Roswell?
Oh, it was huge. Anytime you get a region road win, especially at this point in the season when every W is important, it's crucial. And Centennial have been playing really well lately, so very important win. Move them up to number 2 in the region standings. If they can win at Milton this week, that would clinch the number 2 spot, which is very crucial because you get to play the last seed in the region in that first round. You only need 1 win to get into the state tournament. If Roswell can face that last seed out of Region 6, I think that gives them a much better shot of making the state tournament, which is where they want to be.
That's where everyone wants to be
That's
this time of year. Back to the highlights, and the Roswell boys seem to be peaking at the right time of year as they continue to climb the Region 6 standings, but they would face a tough road test against Centennial. First quarter, Hornets on the break. Matt Beneducci with a nice feed to Sean Brennan. He finishes with the easy deuce to put Roswell up by 5. Centennial will respond with 8 straight. Charles Pack inside to an open Hoist Wabuti. He banks it in off the glass and puts the Knights up 10-7.
Then it's Christian Lynch driving and dumping it off to Charles Pack in the paint. He gets the bucket and the foul. Centennial leads 19-16 after 1.
Second quarter, Taylor Burchett fakes the 3-point attempt, takes a couple dribbles, and knocks down the jumper to put the visitors up 21-19. Then more from the Hornets. Beneducci kicks it out to a wide-open Sean O'Connell. He connects from the baseline. Roswell would go up by as many as 7 points.
Centennial trying to cut into the lead before the half. Xavier Jackson and Charles Pack, and he buries the triple. Knights down 31-29 at the break.
Second half, Centennial on the offensive. Carlos Hamlet dribbles to the paint, hits the floater in the lane to tie the game at 33. And then it's Ethan Mayo pulling down the offensive board for Centennial. He passes it ahead to a breaking Xavier Jackson, who lays it in at the other end. And we're tied at 42 heading to the final frame.
Fourth quarter, Roswell defense stepping up. O'Connell with a monster block to start the break. Beneducci will finish it off with a nice behind-the-back move and basket. Hornets up by 1.
Centennial now with the ball down by 1 with 6 seconds remaining. Hamlet inbounds to Michael Pack. He tries to hit a fadeaway from the baseline. It's no good. The loose ball comes to Hamlet. His shot goes in, but it was after the final horn, and Roswell picks up a big road win over Centennial by a final of 54-53. Is there a hotter team in Region 6 right now than the Roswell Hornets?
I don't think so, not in region play at least. They've won 5 straight region games, 3 of those in overtime. So this team is battle tested. They're not afraid of a close game, and that's what you need when it comes to tournament time in the state and region tournaments. They've moved up the Region 6 standings. If they can get that number 2 or number 3 seed, I think it's very important. The Forsyth teams in this region are not very good. They've combined for just 4 wins. That 2 and 3 seed, play them in the first round. You only need 1 win to get in the state tournament. That's the spot you want to be at. Now, Roswell does close with Milton at Milton this week, so that's going to be a tough one. They're going to have to pull a major upset there, but still have a chance to finish in one of those spots. I like their chances of getting in the state tournament.
Even if they don't get that last game, they're still on a hot run going into the postseason.
And I think that's important.
Absolutely. Time now to recap the other hoops action from around North Fulton, and we start with the Alpharetta Lady Raiders.
Yeah, they just keep on rolling. They defeat Northview 59-39 and Roswell 60-38. Ranked number 5 in 5A. The only setback, Delaney Hollenbach, who'd been playing the past 8 or 9 games, left the game against Roswell, re-injured her ankle. Kind of see where she stands. They might just be resting her for the region tournament, but she's definitely going to play a very key part if they're going to make a run at the state title.
What about the Blessed Trinity boys?
They lost to Westminster 50-48 in 2 overtimes, but bounced back to defeat Jackson 53-50. Sean Damascus scored 16 points and 12 rebounds in that Jackson game, and he also made 2 free throws with 9.5 seconds remaining to clinch the victory. They're currently second in the sub-region. They finish on the road at Lovett in South Atlanta. 2 very tough teams, but I like where they're going.
And the Chattahoochee men?
They lost to Lambert 52-50, but bounced back with the return of Jerron Blossom game, defeat Creekview and Northwest Whitfield. Creekview and Northwest Whitfield were number 3 and number 4 in the region, so 2 very good teams. Chattahoochee will be the number 2 seed in the region tournament. Woodland will be the number 1 seed. They finished 20-5 overall, 13-2 in region play.
And what's going on with the Johns Creek girls?
A little bit of a tough week to close it out. Lost versus Creekview 61-22, but bounced back to defeat South Forsyth 53-39, and then lost to Rome 85-40. They finished 8th in Region 7, actually one behind Chattahoochee, who they swept the season series from. They finished 6-9 in region. They will have a tough matchup in that first round, but hopefully they can put something together.
And last but certainly not least, the Alpharetta men.
A big win over Northview, 87-71, but came back and lost to Roswell 65-55 in overtime. They're currently 5th in the region. They finish at home versus Milton and West Forsyth to end the season. Currently 13-10 overall, 5-5 in region. I have a feeling they're going to be a part of that 4-5 matchup, which is going to be the crucial matchup to determine who gets in the state tournament.
Now, getting back to Chattahoochee for a second, what do you feel like their chances are of taking home the Region 7 championship?
They have to be the best number 2 seed in any region tournament right now. I feel sorry for the competition in Region 7. Jerron Blossom game is back. I have to think that team, and him especially, has a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. Losing those 2 region games was not part of the plan this season. I like them to kind of roll through to that region final. And then Woodland, who beat them in the regular season without Jerron Blossom game. I say look out, Woodland. I think Chattahoochee is going to play angry. I think they win the Region 7 title. I think Jerron Blossom game has a huge tournament.
That team really is loaded.
They're very good.
Let's turn our attention to some outstanding individual performances from this past week with our building block segment, and we start with Sean Brennan from Roswell.
Such a crucial piece to this team, a great outside shooter, can really knock down the 3, but he has the ability to drive it to the hole, take on defenders with ease. He scored 18 points, got 6 boards and 3 assists in that game against Centennial. He's going to be definitely a crucial piece if they're going to get into the state tournament and make any kind of noise in those first couple of rounds. He's just such a great player for them.
And what about Centennial's Charles Pack?
Just an all-around, he's a pure scorer. That's what Charles Pack is, a pure scorer, 23 points, 8 boards and 5 assists in that loss to Roswell. You can see him, he lights it up from 3-point range, a couple feet behind the arc, but he also, just like Brennan, has the ability to take it to the hole, and he makes players around him better, does a great job of dishing out assists. I know he had a high turnover number for him in this game, but threw out a lot of assists as well.
And then there's Valerie Shields from Roswell.
Yeah, the second leading scorer on the Roswell Hornets behind Andreona Keys. She's chipped in 11 points in that game against Centennial, 5 of them coming in that crucial fourth quarter when things got a little tight. She also scored 13 points versus Alpharetta in a loss this past Friday night. A very important player on the offensive as well as the defensive side of the ball.
There were some really good showcases of talent this week.
Yes, there was.
Now, Valerie Shields is one of the top players for the Lady Hornets, but she's doing it on just one leg.
Unbelievable story, and actually kind of a sad story for such a good player. I talked to Coach Broadwell this past week. Valerie Shields has had 3 ACL injuries. Before her sophomore season, she tore her knee up, could not play, came back at the end of the season. She was healthy during the summer, then tore it again before her junior year. Coach Broadwell said if they would have had her last year, she likes their chances to make a further run than they did, even though they were so talented. And then this year, her senior year, she tears the same knee for the 3rd time. She missed the game after that, discussed things with her doctors, determined that she was going to play the season with a torn ACL, and she has been unbelievable. She's the 2nd leading scorer for Roswell, does it at both ends though, defensively, basically playing on one leg, and she's the 2nd best player on a very good team.
That's absolutely amazing.
It really is.
I can't imagine playing at all, let alone as well as she's been playing.
You feel bad for her, but what a great courage that she shows, what great toughness she shows on the court.
That's a really nice story. All right, well, that'll do it for this week. Catch us back here on Comcast Channel 25 next week for game highlights and features, and be sure to like North Fulton Prep Rally on Facebook and follow us on Twitter to see what's happening on the show. For Nathan Shutter, I'm Chase Watson. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you under the lights.
Grab some wood there, bub.